Hello, it's me again. I know it's been a long time since we last talked. I've been up to a lot lately. One of the things we've been up to with the National African American Parent Union is trying to find out exactly what the African American people need to build a nation. 95% of the people in our surveys said they need leaders. I believe we talked about this before. So when I asked them, what do leaders look like to you in the African American community, in the Black community, what do a leader look like? Nobody had answers to that question. As a matter of fact, they were downright dumbfounded, not understanding the question. So I asked some people in Inglewood, Los Angeles, California, in the city of Inglewood, where there is 85% of the population is African American. Still, in the middle class communities, as well as the poor and low income communities, the people just did not know what a leader looked like in the African American communities. How is it that we believe that what we need are leaders, yet we do not know what that means or looks like for us? Definitely, we cannot see ourselves as leaders if we don't know what a leader looks like. So when I let the people know that you are the leaders that you're looking for, all you need now is direction. They seem to be more stung with that comment than with not knowing what a leader looks like. We have a lot of work to do, family. Again, it is not your fault. A lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of organizing went in to making sure you ended up where you are right now. And let me rephrase that. We ended up where we are right now. We remember the Willie Lynch book where he wrote to them to make sure that the people are ignorant and trust nobody but their masters. Now that takes quite some organizing, especially when the people that they were depriving were millions. They did it by attacking the strongest, which were our men. They set down a curse up on the black men so that whenever a woman had a boy, she raised that boy to be afraid for his life from the day he is born. How is it that you can set that kind of curse down on kings? Just in case you don't know what I mean, the word nigger is a slang for the word niggerous, which means king. And we as women were organized and led by these rules. And in that letter, it states, if you do this properly for 1 year, that the blacks will recreate this over and over for the next 300 years. That 300 years ended in 2012. And black folks' eyes were wide open around that time. And when I say black folks, I don't just mean the people in the inner cities, the middle class or high middle class black folks. I mean all black folks were finally, for the first time in hundreds of years, on the same page, realizing the wrongs that has been passed down to us generation after generation after generation. Let's get back to the very gangs that black people have adopted were passed down to them. The South and the North, who are brothers, fought each other on this free the slave thing. One of them was redcoats, Bloods. The other ones were bluecoats, Crips. That too was passed down to our people, making sure that they did the same thing under the same colors, fight against and kill their brothers. Make you want to slap yourself, don't it? How ignorant we were. Adopting everything that was fed to us and implementing it, making it work in our communities, right down to hating and murdering our own brothers and sisters. And because it was the only thing that we were allowed to do, we did it well. To this day, our children believe it's normal to hate their black brother, their black sister. And we have generations to generations of gang members whose focus is killing their brothers. Just like the white armies did, the redcoats and the bluecoats, who passed that hatred on to us in our neighborhoods. Oh, huge organizing went into this, and a lot of money. Let's be reminded again. The South never did say they believe blacks are free. They just lost the war. And after they lost that war, they regenerated, moved themselves to the South, took over the offices here, and expanded their kingdom of hatred of the African descended people. The niggeras, the kings. Now, let's be reminded that we are the original people. So if anybody on earth is supposed to be recognized, it is the original people. Well, the Jews were recognized and are recognized as the chosen people of God, who were chosen out of the original people. The Indians are recognized as the original Americans. If Americans are supposed to be prosperous, those who took over America, surely the Indians, the original Americans, should be prosperous. So they have their own under that title, the original Americans. The Jews were able and assisted by America in going back to Jerusalem as the original people. The African Americans have to stand on the fact that we are the original people. We need to hold on to that and let it be known that if anybody, including the Jews, the Indians, the Orientals, the whites, and all the rest is supposed to be prosperous, do not the root of the tree also supposed to be prosperous? How does that work? That you would chop off the root of the tree and then you expect to grow. We have got to start standing up and creating for ourselves within ourselves. Kingdoms, people, like everybody else. Just fair teaching. And we have to stop blaming the government and stop waiting for them to interact with us and help us to move forward. We simply just apply what's fairly offered to everyone else. And we need to get back to Black Wall Street. Look it up. Get on your phone right now, speak into it, and ask for it to pull up Black Wall Street. You will find out who the true African Americans are. Prosperous, owned oil, own their own city, their own community, their own businesses, their own markets, their own banks, their own churches, their own schools. The children even had to go to school in suits. Black kids, black people, prosperous. Well, what happened then? What happened to us? What did they do? Well, white America got jealous and waged World War II on them. A civil world war or civil war in their community. The reason why I say it was a war because the city was burned down and bombs were dropped on the community, and it wasn't nothing but 30 blocks. They sent in aircrafts and dropped bombs on the black people who had built that community up, had their own homes. They even captured some of the white looters, making statements like, these niggas have more than what we have. Jealousy. Remember again, God gave gifts through Moses to the 12 tribes who were African. That's the reason why when you let them come together, they will build pyramids. You don't think white folks know that? Why do you think they continue to keep you in slavery and slave-minded and keep education away from us? They keep us captive because when you have the people, you have the gifts. And even those big people in the government who believe they have come because they helped build white pyramids and governments, you are allowed that space simply because you have the gifts. And you are building white empires with them. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. No more backwards thinking. It is time to think ahead. Your girl, National African American Parent Union, working just for you.